Which character in the book is most like you?
I wish Magnus, but actually Simon.
Okay. And why aren't you in the show?
I'd like to know that as well.
Not a very good actor.
I saw you and I said, she's the queen of the show. She should be...
Maybe I'll get a cameo.
That's just my thought.
How about a proper character arc?
Well, I mean, that's where the bad acting would be a problem.
I know, we can work through that.
Okay.
We can work through that.
Okay, we'll discuss it. I would like to be evil. I'm going to put that out there.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I could see it, the evil queen. I see
love
it,
to
the
be
hair, the power that you're
I'm getting my hair
emoting.
up taller.
What do you think it is about ABC Family that made it a perfect fit for Shadowhunters?
I think it was partly that they were, and you can let me know if you feel differently, but I think it was partly that they had a mandate to develop a different kind of programming, actually, that this is part of their transition into being freeform. And so what they wanted to do was challenge themselves with a different kind of storytelling and programming. This was going to be, this is a darker, older, a little more violent, a little bit more sexy kind of than what they've done before. And so I think that because this is a new thing for them, you kind of want to partner with that because they're going to put, their effort and their thought into how they're going to do this in a new and interesting way, and we get to be part of that.
I would agree. I mean, they sold us on this idea of we're going further. And we've got the strength of Disney, which does a great many things extraordinarily well, better than anybody out there. And they knew they wanted to reprogram and reorient what they were all about, so it seemed like a natural fit. And they said that they would honor the creative process, and so far they've made good on their word.
So, Cassie, during the panel, you said a lot about how you just need to put your trust in the people who are making the film or the show. So initially, when they approached you, how did they get you on board and convince you that this really is a successful adaptation?
I mean, basically, these rights, the book rights, belong to Constantine Features, and they made the movie, and then, which is kind of an interesting thing, the movie did not, perform the way they wanted it to, and they kind of came back around to me, and this is unusual, because of course I've known a lot of people who've had their books adapted, and they do well or they do badly, and usually if it doesn't perform as people wanted, that's it, but in this case they came around and they were like, people really love these books, they're really important to people, they're popular around the world, there's something there that we didn't communicate, so we wanted to try it, we want to make television show, and I mean basically my choice there was not really, my only choice would have been to say, don't make a television show, because it's their rights, they can do whatever they want with them, but I appreciated that they had, come back around to me in the spirit of what can we do, how do we do it right, and how do we go forward, and I said, I really think television is the right move, because they were, like, what do you think about just TV in general, and I was like, no, I mean, I think we're in a time period where there are a lot of amazing television shows that really are able to explore characters and character arcs in depth, and so that's something I would be really interested in seeing. I was really actually excited by the idea of TV more than I would have been by the idea of TV.
I just think the form of television, wouldn't you say, how many movies changed your life this year? 2 or 3? I mean, Ex Machina, I think, is as good of a movie as you can make. But it's limited, okay? I think there's 20, 30, dare I say 40 television shows that if I had enough time to binge watch and just take in hour after hour, I would. So I just think it's a manner and a pacing in which to tell a story that can involve the viewer much, much more deeply than, I mean, imagine Game of Thrones, the movie, when you got to be in and out in 2 hours. You'd be like, wait a second, I want so much more than that.
Right, you wouldn't even be done introducing all of the Starks.
Yeah, fairly put.
Yeah, this fan base is ready for like a few, at least, years of this, because they just want more and more.
I think they would be happy
a lot
to take as much as could be produced,
We're ready.
That's great to hear.
Very happy in that world.
Well, she certainly gave us enough to deal with. Let's hope that, Ed Dector can get it right. We can figure it out and satisfy the need of the fandom, because that's indeed the goal. the fans have spoken. They read the books. They love the books. Now we got to get it right in the television capacity, and it's all part of listening and feedback and evolving. Truly, as we sit here now, we're still working on the first episode. We're not done. We're in production, so it's very exciting for me to be able to speak to everybody. And then we're like, I think a little more of this, a little less of that. We should do this, that. Not so much for Cassie, but for Ed. And I think Ed's doing a great deal of listening and giving it a great deal of thought as he continues to hone and define exactly the manner in which the show will be parceled out. At least I hope he is. I'm going to put my foot in his ass. So.
I don't have that opportunity. But I will say that one of the interesting things to me about television is that you do have a chance to change as you go, which is not a possibility with a movie. The movie, you're done, you put it out there, right?
Yeah.
By the time you get feedback, it's too late. So it's really interesting to watch television shows, always have the possibility of course correction, and that's kind of fascinating. Me too.
I mean, I'm using this, my son is 12, I'm using this as an opportunity to get him to read the series, and then we can watch the show together.
Great.
So, that's what it helps families, because you're covering a larger demographic. So, thank you.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome.
I'm sorry guys, all the time we have, they're asking us to vacate the room.
Thank you so much.
Vacate the